Welcome to today's lesson. My name is Teacher Simon Peter Weta. I'm going to take you through English, and today we are basically going to look at double comparison of adjectives. We can also call them double. If we don't want to say double comparison, we can also say double comparatives. Yes, we can also call them double comparatives. What indeed are we talking about from here? Here, we mean we are going to be given two different sentences, but in each sentence, you are going to be given one adjective. So in order to have double comparison, it means each clause is going to start with the, then followed by the comparative here, by the comparative degree here, or we can call it comparative, adjective, yes, adjective. Then we put a comma, then we have the second there here, and then a comparative degree again. Then again another comparative adjective. Yes, another comparative what is? Adjective. So, what are we really talking here? So it means we are going to see how to use, in simple terms, we are going to see how to use, so we're going to see how to use using the comma is there, then we have another there here. So basically, this is what we are going to look at today. But before we look at this, you must be very, very, very conversant with the forming comparative, and superlative, forming comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives. Okay? Of adjectives. So you must be very conversant here. You must be very conversant there. So, before we looked at this, I am very sure you looked at forming comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives, whereby we have the 3 degrees as the positive degree, we have the comparative degree, and we have the superlative. Yes, we have the superlative degree. So each of these have got the ways or classes of some adjectives that have their ways of forming their comparative. So let's say A, if the adjective in the positive degree, they are those where in the comparative we form them by adding what? R to the given adjective, then we add a ST in the superlative. The examples of such can be, maybe we can have examples here. We can have fine, yes, then this one becomes finer, then this one becomes finest, yes, because those adjectives are ending in E. Another example we can give here is a large, then we have here larger, and the other side we have what? Largest. So such examples of these adjectives are those. Then we go to B, there are those, we have the adjective here in the positive degree, then the comparative adds the ER, and the superlative adds what? EST. Can we give some 2 examples? Here we can have maybe adjectives like quick, then we have here quicker, yes, Then we have here what is quickest. Yes. So we can also have smart. Yes. Then this one becomes smarter. Then the other side we're going to have smartest. Right? Yes. So there are those. Class C, we have those adjectives that have long syllables. So in their comparative, they take, we have the adjective here, so here takes more, then this will take say most. Okay? So let's have a few. We can have handsome, handsome. The comparative is in more, handsome, and the superlative is in most handsome. Yes. So we have, we can have things like beautiful here. It also beautiful. The comparative is in more beautiful, and the superlative is most beautiful. Then we have D. We have those adjectives that take less in the comparative and least in the superlative. Then we have examples here. We can have ignorant, less ignorant, and least ignorant. Then we have those that form there. We have E, those that change. Those that change completely. Yes. They are those adjectives that change completely in their comparative and superlative. Examples we can give here is, maybe if I have here good, this one becomes better, and this one becomes best. So we can have bad, worse, worst, and many others. So you must be conversant with the formation of comparative and superlative degree of adjectives. That is when you're going to find it easy from here. So here, let's start off by saying this is where 1 is given 2. This is where 1 is given two different adjectives. Two different adjectives. One in each. One in each. Parallel. Parallel. Clause. Parallel. Clause. And when using there, when using there, and there is followed by a comparative degree, of each given adjective. Yes, each given what? Adjective. So you're going to be given two parallel sentences, and in each sentence there is an adjective given. Now, when you're using there, immediately after there, the comparative degree of the given adjective is put here. Then after the second there, another comparative of the given adjective is put there. Okay, let's look at some examples so that we can understand from there. Let's have some examples. Example number 1. If Peter works hard, if Peter works hard, he will pass well. He will pass well. So let us read this sentence, everybody. Good. If Peter works hard, he will pass well. Now, there are two different sentences here. The first sentence is if Peter works hard. Then the next sentence is he will pass well. Now, each of these sentences have an adjective given. So if in the first sentence here, the adjective given here is hard. So what is the comparative degree of the adjective hard? Remember, it has one syllable. So the comparative degree here is a harder. Okay? So the next adjective given here is a well. What is its comparative degree? The comparative degree of well is a better. Okay? So now, the moment you say the, it must be followed by that. So what we say, our response here is going to be the, we already have this, so we need a comparative degree, the harder. Then the noun follows, the harder Peter works. Put the comma there. The. We have this second here, second the here. The next is a comparative degree, which is better. The better. A noun, a pronoun, he will. The better he will pass. Yes. So, the comparative degree, put a comma, another there, comparative degree. The harder Peter works, the better he will pass. Let's have example 2. Example 2. James will grow fat if he eats good food. James will grow fat. James will grow fat if he eats, let's have much. If he eats much food. Right. So the first thing you do is to identify the adjectives. Yes? The first adjective here is fat. What is the comparative degree? The comparative degree here is a fatter. Adjectives that double the last letter before adding er. Another adjective here is a much. Comparative degree of much is a more. Okay? Yes. Comparative degree of much is a more. So what is going to be our answer? We are going to share the what? The more food. Who? Peter. The more food James. The more food James. The more food James. It's, comma, the fatter. The fatter he will grow. Right? Good. The more food James eats, the fatter he will grow. Number 3, let's look at example 3. If one does much work, one becomes tired. If one does much work, comma, one becomes what? Becomes tired. Okay? So where are the adjectives? We have much. Comparative degree of much is a more. Another adjective here is a tired. Comparative degree here is a more tired. Okay? More what? Tired. So what is going to be our response? Our response is going to be the more work. The more work one does, comma, the more tired. The more tired one becomes. Make sure your response or your responses end with verbs, okay? The more work one does, the more tired one becomes. Be careful with the comparatives of the given adjectives. Let's look at the next example. That is example 4. Let's look at example 4. Example 4 says, if you are hardworking, you become rich. If you are hardworking, when you're writing hardworking, make sure you hyphenate. If you are hardworking, comma, you become rich. If you are hardworking, you become rich. Where are the adjectives? The first adjective here is hardworking. Comparative degree is a more hardworking because it is a long syllable. It has more than one syllable. The next adjective here is rich. What is the comparative degree of the adjective rich? The comparative degree of adjective rich is richer. Okay? So what is going to be the response? The response is going to be, the more hardworking you are, the richer you become. Correct. So we say, the more hardworking, you are, don't forget the comma, the more hardworking you are, the richer you become. Yes, the more hardworking you are, the richer you become. Let's have another example so that we can master double comparison of adjectives very well. We said we can also call it double comparatives. And what do we mean by double comparatives? This is where each sentence starts with the article there and it is immediately followed by the comparative degree of the given adjective. The moment you are given two sentences, you must be able to identify the adjective in that sentence, and then you form its comparative degree. Good. Let's look at example 5. Example 5 says, example 5, if one grows rich, if one grows rich, comma, one becomes great. One becomes great. Yes, and it's very true. The moment you're rich, you become great. If one grows rich, one becomes great. Where are the adjectives in this sentence? The adjectives here are, one is rich. What is the comparative degree of the adjective rich? The comparative degree of rich is richer. And what is the comparative degree of the adjective great? The comparative degree of the adjective great is greater. So what is going to be our answer? Our answer is going to be the richer. The moment you have this definite article, you immediately bring the comparative degree. The richer one grows. After that verb grows, make sure you put a comma. Then another definite article comes. The moment you have it there, immediately you follow to the comparative degree of great, which is greater. Yes, the richer one grows, the greater one becomes. The greater one becomes. Yes, that is very good. The richer one grows, the greater one becomes. Let's have the next number. Number 6. You become wise. You become wise as you grow. As you grow old. You become wise as you grow old. Now be very careful here. We know that wise is an adjective whereby the comparative degree of wise is wiser, and old is also an adjective whereby its comparative degree is older. Okay? Now, you must know that these adjectives have changed. Okay, when you use it the way it is, it gives you a different meaning. That means you don't become wise. You don't become old as you don't grow old as you become wise. But the moment you're growing old, it means you're becoming wise. So the adjectives have to change positions. Old and wise have to change positions because one happens before the other. You cannot become wise before growing old. But as you're growing old, you become wise. So what is our response? Our response is the older you grow, comma, the wiser you become. The older you grow, the wiser you become. It means for you to become very, very, very wise, you must keep on growing old. The older you're growing, the wiser you are becoming. Good. So we said that the moment you mention article there, the next word here is the comparative degree of the adjective. Then you follow it with either a noun or a pronoun, and the verb comes in last. Then you put a comma, have the next definite article. The moment the definite article is put, you make sure you follow it with its comparative degree. Yes. Let's have number 7. Let's have number 7. Number 7 is saying, if the task is difficult, if the task is difficult, what happens? If the task is difficult, it is hard to succeed. It is hard to succeed. Yes. If the task is difficult, it is hard to succeed. Where are the adjectives? The adjectives in these cases are 1, we have difficult. What is the comparative degree of the adjective difficult? The comparative degree of the adjective difficult is more difficult. Then another adjective here is hard. What is its comparative degree? The comparative degree of the adjective hard is harder. So what is going to be our response? Our response is going to be the more difficult the task is, the more difficult. The more difficult the task, the more difficult the task is, put your comma there, the harder it is to succeed. The moment you mention this definite article, bring a comparative degree. The harder it is to succeed. Yes, the harder it is to succeed. So, since today we've been talking about double comparison, I said that, number 1, you need to know the comparative degree. You need to know how to form the comparative degree of the given adjective. Then after knowing how to form the comparative degree of the given adjectives, then you must note that the moment you mention article there in this context, the next word here is the comparative degree of the given adjective in the sentence. It is immediately followed by a comparative degree, just like we've looked at from here. So let us have one more example, and then we can end there for today. So the next example here is example 8. I think it will be good to go. If we give 8 examples, you will have learned how to use double comparison of adjectives. But there is also comparison of adverbs. Don't confuse the two. There is comparison of adjectives and there is comparison of adverbs. For now, we are not talking about comparison of adverbs. We are basically looking at comparison of adjectives. So we said that comparison of adjectives, we basically use there. So now we said after there, it is immediately followed by the comparative degree. Let's continue to number 8. People feel happy. People feel happy. People feel happy when the sun is bright. Yes, when the sun is bright. People feel happy when the sun is bright. This is a privilege, by the way. Like people in Uganda, they always feel happy when the sun is bright. And even those in countries we do not maybe have a look at a sun, but when they go to those countries where they can see sun, they feel happy. That's very true. So what are the adjectives in this sentence? People feel happy when the sun is bright. What are the adjectives? The first adjective here is happy. Comparative degrees with adjectives that end in Y. When they're forming their comparative degrees, Y is dropped to I and ER is added for comparatives. The next word, the next example of a word we can give here is maybe busy, yes, busier, tidy, tidier, lucky, luckier, and many others. Okay, another adjective here is bright. What is the comparative degree? The comparative degree of the adjective bright is brighter. Okay? Yes, so what is going to be our answer in this case? Our answer is going to be people feel happy when the sun is bright. Yes? So the brighter, yes, the brighter, what is the cause of their happiness? The brightness of the sun. The brighter the sun, we put a comma there, then the happier. The happier people feel. Yes, the brighter the sun, the happier people feel. So, with all these examples we've been given here, I hope you've learned something on comparison of adjectives, not comparison of adverbs. In the next episode, we are going to look at comparison of adverbs. Thank you for watching. Continue playing the video and you learn this not until you master. We meet in the next episode. I remain teacher Obata Simon Peter from Train Up a Child Schools. Thank you for watching.